Imagine your predecessors at a time when there was no calculator, no computer, made up the differences between how the optical vision must be able to see the same size letters, such height above and such bottom top below. I am only suggesting that when you look at Taj Mahal, you may not be looking at it from the angle of the engineering skill which finally made it up. So, why I am describing all these things is, we really owe to your profession for the human civilization's growth. Your profession contributed the maximum to human civilization. Thereafter it sprouted into different, now it is all brought under one umbrella, very, very good, into civil, mechanical, electrical, chemical, aeronautical, architectural, and then a few more, which I am not able to fathom now. All these things have become inevitably necessary for building up of a republic on a par with any civilized country. So India depends on you in the future. For the teeming millions are now regarding you as their tomorrow's saviors. After the invention of computer, your profession has become revolutionized, as in the case of many other professions, barring the profession of theology. It remains the same with or without computer. A scientist studies the world as it is, whereas the engineer creates a new world. Let this seminar, this function, not only equip you to be the contributors of the human civilization, they give you the necessary pabulum, reminding you of your great obligation to the country and your fellow men. Why you are given this expertise, not only for you, but for people like us and many others far below that. Let this divine inspiration give you greater confidence and a sense of duty to continue your march. In that way, I find this country will be better tomorrow under your guidance and careship. Thank you very much.
He did his BSc Engineering from the College of Engineering, Trivandrum, and his MTech from IIT Mumbai. His association with TKM College of Engineering dates back to the 1950s. He was a principal of our college from 1977 onwards for 17 long years. He served as expert member in AICTE and also in the Ministry of Human Resource and Development. Apart from all this, he has also held positions in various governmental organizations. He is the current secretary of Muslim Education Society and also a syndicate member of CUSAT. I invite you, sir, to deliver the keynote address.
President of today's function, my old student, Jalaluddin Musalia, our very distinguished chief guest, Padma Bhushan, Justice K.T. Thomas, Sri K.P. Jayachandran, again Dr. Suresh Babu, a former student of this college, Dr. J. Sri Kumar, again a student of this college, and the present students, Muhammad Ali and Ridin Raj, then distinguished members of the faculty, ladies and gentlemen. At this occasion, I really do not know what to say because of my association with this college for a pretty long time, as has been mentioned by the previous speaker. When I joined this college in 1959, there were only 3 colleges in the state of Kerala. That is the College of Engineering Trivandrum, TKM, then Trichur Engineering, Government College Trichur. And the total admission strength, you can imagine, hardly less than 400 total. And when I joined the engineering college, the total admission strength was 100. Then there was only one college in the state, that was the College of Engineering, Trivandrum. So as our distinguished chief guest has said, engineers were looked with jealousy by others that, oh, so-and-so is a student of engineering college. Because that was the time when I was lucky in enjoying those benefits in those days. Though I was not lucky in that, in many other respects, I was really lucky in having admission. I got admission in the College of Engineering Trivandrum in those days. The technical education as such, the market growth and development, you can imagine about the number of institutions in the country. When I was the principal of this college, then there were only 5 colleges in the state. So I was one of the 5 principals of Kerala. That is again was an envious position. So the parents looked with respect because I was one of the 5 in Kerala. And now the present growth of education, technical education, after independence, that number of institutions have come up, especially in our neighboring states. Even self-financing colleges were sanctioned in those states. And the beginning was Karnataka. Karnataka, that famous institutions, that PI group of Karnataka. Then of course, Tamil Nadu, many institutions have come up, self-financing institutions have come up. Then Kerala came to the self-financing stream only very late. Because Kerala, the ideologies, they are against self-supporting institutions. So our students had to go to neighboring states for seeking education. But now things have changed. Kerala authorities and the administration and the ruling parties, they have realized the need of institutions for educating our children. So we are also on the move, on the growth in technical education. But I am not giving you statistics, but just the number of institutions in neighboring states, I am giving you an idea that Andhra Pradesh has got more than 700 engineering colleges, 700. And of course, Tamil Nadu more than 500. And then Karnataka also about that. And of course, Kerala is having about 100. But it's not a bad number, according to me. But because from a total number of 5 institutions in the 70s, we have risen to the level of 100. So that about 40,000 students of Kerala state have got ample opportunities for pursuing their education. Then regarding the number of branches, we started with 3 branches in engineering, in those days. In Trivandrum Engineering College also, when I studied also, there are only 3 branches. That is the conventional branches, civil, mechanical, and electrical. Even electronics was stated after a long time, after so many years. Then of course, now the All India Council for Technical Education has given sanction for more than 30 to 35 disciplines. minimum in most of the colleges. And the computer was quite unknown in those days, and even electronics was unknown to them and to our engineering field for the first 15 to 20 years. And we started electronics again in I don't remember the year, but after of course, it is after 77 or 78, 77, because after I took over as principal only that course was started. That was the 4th branch in this college, that is electronics. Now, of course, there are electronics itself, they have split into many branches. We have computer, IT, then there are so many other branches. That is about technical education. Now, the purpose of this Conjura, because I was also not very sure about the word name Conjura, but it is always better to give a name which is not understandable by anybody. That is so that everybody will think maybe something very different. Anyway, I understood that Conjura is a combination. Is it so? That is what the information I have got. So this Conjura gives ample opportunities for young minds to show their talents, their creativity, their innovative ideas. Because even at this age, I should say, don't ask me my age, but at this age, I read the Padipura or that Yuva and such articles in certain Malayalam papers. Padipura, I think you must, if you are not reading it, please try to read, because it gives you a lot of information which you and I don't have. Especially the people in our generation, not all of us, at least just this my generation, we never had such opportunities of acquiring knowledge. Because now a student of this college or even a school has got ample opportunities to know things, why such a thing is happening, why not such a thing is not happening, etc., etc. So even if you are students of you should never forget the past. That is, things are happening around you which you should always keep yourself updated. That is my purpose of telling you this. Because in many things, presently, if your children means the children of our faculty, I should say, if they ask you some question or doubts, probably the parents are not able to answer them satisfactorily. Because they are learning many things in the schools which you and I cannot answer satisfactorily. The only solution, maybe, as many teachers do, we can get angry with your child if you don't know the answer. That is what is happening now. So the knowledge, there is an explosion in knowledge. So to keep pace with the knowledge, hard work is the only solution. That is the only message I have to give you. In earlier times, the concept of wealth is changed now. Earlier, what was the concept of wealth? Maybe for a family, we can say acres of land, or the number of vehicles, or properties, buildings, etc. And for a nation, probably in those days, even your possession of atomic weapons, we can say it is considered to be very important. But now, with the concept of wealth has changed, and I should say, knowledge is real wealth. If you have knowledge, there is nothing to compete with that knowledge. But there must be associated with that, if you have knowledge, there are 2 points. One thing, knowledge without hard work is of no use. If you say, I am very intelligent, some parents will come and say, because my experience with the past, they will say, my son is very intelligent, but not hardworking. If you are not hardworking, there is no use of your intelligence or knowledge or your brain. And the second point is, you should use your brain and knowledge for the right cause. Because of recently, you must have seen the knowledge or the brain, even bank robbery, for example. Actually, some people are very intelligent in committing robberies or rather these undesirable activities. So knowledge has to be used in the right direction. That is the point which I should remember. Then from various other institutions, students have come. So I am very happy that there is good representation from other colleges, and they should know, they should enjoy the hospitality and the goodwill of the TKM College of Engineering, which I am sure it is not second to none, because I have had the experience of the TKM culture. I am sure that they will definitely host your friends very well. Am I right? So then this engineering called TKM, as I said, is one of the best institutions in the country, and about infrastructural facilities, laboratories, faculty. I would say that the faculty is the main strength of this college, because while I was the principal, of course I had opportunities of conducting interviews, etc. The management was highly cooperative, and they were also very determined to take only highly qualified good faculty to the college. And I should say that the success of this, or the position of this great institution, is only because of the hard work of the faculty. So I am really happy and proud that I have been a part of the organization or the management in that respect, in recruiting, or rather requesting these faculty members to join this college. And they are giving good guidance. I am sure the students are lucky in having this respected members of the faculty as their guides. Now, of course, because our chief guest wanted to go, so I really do not want to say, but anyway, this invitation came to me yesterday only. You are lucky in that respect, otherwise I would have prepared a long speech. So I got the invitation because asking to come here, because it is always a pleasure for me to come, because I usually attend all alumni functions normally, which you must have seen, not for functions like this, but alumni groups, because I still enjoy the real privilege of being a teacher, because of the love and respect bestowed, shown to me by the alumni. I really enjoy it, and I really wish, wherever I go, I find somebody who was a student of this college saying, sir, namaskaram, sir. So that is probably, for me, that is my Padma Bhushan award. Now, before I wind up, I will say a few words about our distinguished chief guest. I really respect him, because he was the district judge in Koilon during my time as a principal. He came to this college. He has come to this college before. And once I was remembering an occasion where he had an old ambassador car. Now judges are having very big cars. In those days, an old ambassador car. He was trying to fill up fuel in a petrol bunk. I happened to be there by chance. And that poor fellow, the person, was trying to fill diesel oil and diesel fuel to his petrol engine, his car. Then I just went and prevented. Now you ask him whether it is diesel or petrol. Then he said it is petrol. So I think I can say that I have also helped him in a small manner, way like this, in those days. And of course, he became a distinguished judge, and he was we had some association with him when he was the chairman of the K.T. Thomas Committee for fee fixation in self-financing colleges, and he did the job so elegantly. That is, hearing the views of the managements and others, and he did it. He showed that he was a real judge, or he showed justice to all. Because there are some people saying equal injustice to all. There is a category of people like that. But equal injustice to all, but here it was equal justice to all. So I really honor him and respect him, and I'm really happy that I have been able to share the platform with such a great, eminent jurist. Now, he was saying what is his connection with engineering that he was mentioning. You know, he is an expert, not an expert member, but in the panel to determine our fate in the Mullaperiyar dam case. So he has to learn a little engineering also, I should say. That is at least some irrigation he has to learn, rather. So he has some real connection with us also in that respect. And because since it is a matter under the court jurisdiction, I really do not want to say anything further, but I only say that we, the TKM College of Engineering, you and I, are really honored by the auspicious, august presence of such a great, eminent jurist amongst us. Thank you, sir, for coming again. Now, of course, I'll wind up because I'm happy that I have been able to be with you at least for a few minutes. I'm seeing all the smiling faces of our old faculty. And it is when Dr. Sri Kumar introduced me, also he said about some nice words about me. Thank you. And I think we will associate ourselves wherever possible. Thank you very much.
A very big thanks to you, sir. NABARD has constantly stood beside us as an undying source of support and inspiration. And if it wasn't for their guidance and timely interventions, Contour 11 would have not seen the light of this day. We have with us Mr. K.P. Jayachandran, the Deputy General Manager of NABARD, who started his career in 1973 at the Reserve Bank of India, Mumbai. He later opted for NABARD in the year 1983. He has worked in several states all over. He was the District Development Officer, Malappuram, for 5 years. He is presently looking after the developmental activities of Kerala State as the Deputy General Manager of NABARD, Trivandrum. I welcome you, sir, to offer the felicitation.
There's a small change in the program schedule. Now we shall have the release of the conference proceedings of the various departments. I request Janab Jalaluddin Musalliar to hand over the proceedings to Justice K.T. Thomas for the official release. Now I request our principal to receive the proceedings from our chief guest. I now request Janab Jalaluddin Musalliar to hand over a memento to Justice K.T. Thomas as our token of regard and gratitude.
Dr. J. Sri Kumar, Sri Janab Jalaluddin Musalliar, though not in the stage, Padma Bhushan Justice K.T. Thomas, Professor P.O.G. Lebba, Dr. S. Suresh Babu, Principal, Sri Muhammad Ali K.K., Student Convener, Conjura 11, and students, staff members, and my dear brothers and sisters. I'm standing before you representing NABARD. Probably you may be thinking, what role NABARD got when this is mainly connected to science and engineering. I don't know how many people are heard about NABARD. Probably city-bred may not have an idea about NABARD, but I am telling you, more than 65% of the people in India lives in villages. And these village people, we call it Gramin Vibhag, Definitely they are aware of NABARD and they also know what NABARD is doing. TKM Engineering College, one of the best government-aided colleges in the state. They approached NABARD for support to conduct this Conjura 11 and De Novo, a part of that Conjura. We are really very happy that the Conjura 11, the theme of Conjura 11 is engineering, innovations, empowering rural India. The growth of rural India, that is very close to the hearts of NABARD. We are for that. We are mandated for that. And I am remembering the words of our father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi. India lives in its more than 5 lakh villages. If anybody think that without development of the rural areas, whether our country can develop, they are not really seeing the reality. The development of our country, I am still telling you, purely depends on the development of the rural area. Rural area development, agriculture development is required. Along with that, non-farm sector and other connected with all crafts, handicrafts, handlooms, all these sectors, development is required. So this Conjura 11, rather De Novo, I will tell. I am told actually more than 500 colleges all over India is coming here, assembled here to showcase their ideas, their innovations. That is purely connected with rural development aspects. And here you are going to select around some 20 best innovations and prizes are being given. I really congratulate, I appreciate the efforts of this TKM Engineering College, its staff members and its students to direct the efforts of the students towards rural development. I wish all the engineering colleges in the state, rather in the country, if they attempt to these things, it would be a morale booster to the rural development of our country. Here this college is doing, I think, in two ways it is affected. Once, the attention of the students is invited towards the problems of rural India. Normally, the student community, exceptions are there, I am not generally telling this, basically looks city areas because facilities are there, they can have a good life. But I request my students, this student community, please see the realities in the rural areas. Please see the problems faced by the rural people and try to think about solutions by finding out innovative ideas and let it be, go to the rural area, your innovative idea in the form of some project or some product, let it go to the rural area. It may help the people of rural India to develop there, to increase the production. We are facing food scarcity nowadays. We are facing energy crisis nowadays. So the present day engineering students, they can think about all these aspects. This time I remember about the words of our former ex-president Abdul Kalam, Dr. Abdul Kalam. He said, let everybody dream. Nobody can deny the right to dream. Dear students, please dream. But mere dreaming will not do. Then try to work hard and for the realization of the dream. That dream to be for the development of our country, to be the development for our rural areas. Now I think you might have understood that why NABARD has come in this forum. We are there to help the rural people, but NABARD as an organization, NABARD alone cannot go to the rural areas. So we are finding out mediums by which we are implementing our programs, we are implementing our projects. By helping this program, what we are doing is, indirectly we are helping the rural people. The innovations which is going to be now, whatever is in the innovation form, if it is materialized, if you are able to bring out with some products which will help the rural people, we are very happy. And much more than that, here, for realization of your dreams, realization of our innovations, we got a product with us. We are having a rural innovation fund which can be utilized for all these kind of innovations for betterment of the lives of the rural people. Anyhow, I would like to tell you more about the Rural Innovation Fund, because if good innovative products are coming out from this DINOVA or Conjura, we will be there to help you within our framework to bring out, replicate it, and it can be utilized not only in Kerala, it can be replicated, it can be utilized all over India. I will just tell you what is this RIF, so that once this program is over, those who are interested and suitable projects are identified, they can approach NABARD. Then I will tell you what are the conditions actually. This innovation should be aimed at increasing productivity and profitability of operation of the farmers, rural artisans and craftsmen. And also which aims to reduce drudgery. Drudgery means monotonous. Our farmers, they are doing the same thing over a period of time actually. So if there is some change because of our innovations, it is coming place, that kind of innovations also can be helped by us. Then another thing is create more employment and better environment. Wherever these three objectives are there, we will be ready for help through Rural Innovation Fund. This, to get the application form, if at all anybody has got the chance to get the application form, you can go to our website www.nabard.org, or the people of Kollam district. My district development manager, Mrs. Rohini Verma, is here. You can contact her also. So friends, I really once again appreciate TKM College. And this should be a guiding star to follow other colleges also, other engineering colleges also. Definitely, I hope whatever innovations which is going to be showcased here, out of that, minimum some 15 to 20 innovations, they could be successful, and that will be can be utilized for the benefit of the rural people, and thereby more development, better livelihood for the rural people. Then we feel your endeavor, your efforts are successful. I wish all the success to this endeavor on behalf of NABARD and on my personal behalf. I am concluding my words. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for enlightening us with your inspirational talk. Now I invite Dr. S. Suresh Babu, Principal, TKM College of Engineering, to offer felicitation.
The President of this function, Janab T.K. Jalaluddin Musliar, Treasurer, TKM College Trust, esteemed Chief Guest of Konjara 11, inaugural ceremony, Padma Bhushan Justice K.T. Thomas, the keynote speaker of our third edition of Konjara, Professor P.O. Jaleba, former Principal, TKM College of Engineering, Sri K.P. Jayachandran, Deputy General Manager, NABARD, Srimati Rohini Verma, District Development Officer of NABARD, Dr. J. Sri Kumar, General Convener, Konjara 11, Sri Muhammad Ali, Chairman, College Union, members of the Organizing Committee of Konjara 11, esteemed heads of departments, faculty colleagues, invited guests, my dear students, ladies and gentlemen, we have launched the third edition of Konjara officially. This 4-day event is a long-cherished dream of my students who have strived hard to make it happen in this form. For this year's Konjara, the main theme is engineering innovations and empowering rural India, which has been appreciated by experts from many quarters. In this connection, I take it as a privilege to mention the wholehearted support provided by NABARD, who is working for the rural development activities of our motherland. Konjara 11 consists of 35 technical events in various engineering, technology and management fields with a theme to empower rural India. Every event in Konjara has been derived carefully after a series of discussions with experts within the college and outside. I appreciate the team spirit showed by our students in this regard. It is expected to have around 5,000 participants for this program around all over India. The best innovative project idea may bag a prize money of rupees 1 lakh. It is learned that TKM College of Engineering is the first college in this part of the country to organize such an innovative competition with the support from National Innovation Foundation and NABARD. In this connection, I acknowledge the support and cooperation received from our Honorable Chairman, Governing Body, Janab S.H. Musliar, Treasurer, Jalaluddin Musliar, TKM College Trust, other members of the TKM College Trust.
Whenever we think of rural area, we first think goes to agriculture. Agriculture, the fertilizers in each and everything, the commodities which have been placed for this rural India is that the thing last what the price of onion was about 90 rupees throughout India. Is it so? So why is that sudden hike came out? Is there a possibility to reduce out? There was a time that a kg of onion was sold out just for rupees 5. So the transportation plays a main role. Today, our Indian petroleum industry is facing about 220 crores loss per day. Even though it is selling at a cost of 63 rupees petrol in Tamil Nadu, in here it is sold at 61 rupees, right? So, on considering the other countries like Pakistan and Malaysia, Pakistan the cost of 1 liter of petrol is 17 rupees only, and in Malaysia it is just 18 rupees. So think about us. How we can be able to develop in such a situation? As per our former President Abdul Kalam had said, we the Indians, we the students are capable of developing India into a developed nation by 2020. If this sector is going on like this, we won't be able to adopt this, and we won't be able to achieve this our country as a developed nation. So I put forth my project as a supporter to this Jeep Technos will march towards the development of India, and I believe that each and everyone sitting over here will support me towards this project. Now I will show you the prototype, that is version 1.0 of our model. This is a bike which I had been designed in the past 3 years. This bike is fitted with an auto gas tank and an electrolytic hydrogen generation system. This bike is fitted out with a gun pointer where you can place the gun which is available in the petrol bunk and you can fill your gas tank. The gas will be taken out towards this cooperative, towards the tank. The tank is provided with 2 electronic safety systems. That's one is electronic and the second one is the manual. Electronic system, whenever you switch on your keys, the electronic system will activate and the valve is open. Manual system is similar to that of petrol on-off switch. So, as soon as you open up, the gas will flow from here towards the vaporizer. Since the pressure from the auto gas tank is much more higher and it can never be acted towards this 100cc engine. So, we are using a high pressure to low pressure conversion kit and we are converting this auto gas to high pressure to low pressure and we are giving to vaporizer. From the vaporizer, the auto gas vaporizer is sent to the carburetor second stage. This is the electronic hydrogen generation system. We have provided it with the switch. Whenever you start your bike, as well you have to switch on it and you have to run your bike. This system converts the water into hydrogen and oxygen. It is taken out to the filter section. In the filter section, dust particles are removed from these gases and then it is taken out to the carburetor first section. In the first section, it is mixed out with the gases, that is the normal air, and then the restriction is mixed with auto gas and then it is taken out to the engine. In the engine, at first the petroleum combustion takes place, after that the hydrogen combustion takes place. So, but before the end of the combustion of petrol, hydrogen combustion ends up and a huge amount of energy is released which is utilized by these engine to run. During this process, a partial amount of heat energy which is evaporated by the system is reused by this hydrogen and oxygen and it helps in the recombination of hydrogen and oxygen into water. So, you can get a fraction of amount of water, that water vapor is coming out. So, that we must have to provide a Teflon coating in order to avoid the rust which is going to be happening out in the silencer. Then next is the carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide emission is one of the major problems which we are facing in the vehicle emission. So since we have used oxygen supply over here to the greater extent, so this carbon monoxide is converted into carbon dioxide in the presence of the heat energy. So thus we are converting the carbon monoxide into carbon dioxide, we are preventing global warming as well as we are supporting our country. With your permission, I would like to show the certifications. This is the certificate provided. Actually, so 3.5% is the maximum carbon monoxide emission. What will be the vehicle launching after March 14? That is 4-stroke engines. The maximum emission is 3.5%. My vehicle is providing 0.04%. That is the kit you see now, that bike. And that's going to be a surprise for you all. This is the version 1.0. Tomorrow we are going to submit the newer version 2.0, which is capable of supporting the petrol engine. Be eager to see that. The pollution norms for that bike is over here. This bike has been awarded as the best renewable resource of energy by the Ampere Electric Bikes for the year 2010. That certification. And I have to add a thing that I haven't mentioned about the initial capital cost, etc., etc. The manufacturing cost of this product is just 650 rupees, and the installation charge ranges from 100 to 150. So with 900 to 1000 rupees, you can run your bike with the support of water. Actually, I am not going to sell this project to any concern. It's going to be a non-profitable organization, and I am going to give it to government. Through Agricultural Minister Veerapandiya Sarangam, we had applied to the government of Tamil Nadu and we have forwarded to the Board of Controller of Explosives. As soon as we get the permission from Board of Controller of Explosives, each and every bike of yours will be supported by our viewer.
Can you call your product completely safe, especially with the use of hydrogen?
Ma'am, I have to say a thing. Hydrogen. Storage of hydrogen is one of the difficult process in whatever be the thing you are using hydrogen. So that's why the launching of fuel cell vehicle is delayed so much. When you are storing your hydrogen in the tank, if there occurs a leakage, there is a burning taking place, you cannot see with your naked eyes. So unless a paper or a piece of cloth or something else is burned with this hydrogen, you can see. So that kind of disadvantages we are not facing in this system. As soon as we generate the hydrogen, we are taking it over to the combustion area and we are utilizing it, and it is recycled into another form which is much more suitable for us. So next is the safety precautions. In the version 1.0 we have faced many problems like short circuiting and increased the pressure inside the system. So these have been modified in the version 2.0 which is going to be submitted on tomorrow.
You are claiming the manufacturing cost is only 650.
Yes, sir, 650
rupees.
Yes, sir.
How did you arrive at this price or cost?
I'll say so. Actually, since the electrode and the electrolyte which is used for this project is the new version which have been formulated with the help of my college lecturers and me, sir. So we had worked out for 3 years and we came out with this project. I'll say so. The thing which we used in the version 1.0 cost more than 3,000 rupees. The cast material, the electrodes which we had used. But the version 2.0 which we are using, the electrode is one of the easily available metal in India. So, yes, I cannot say, sir. Sorry, sir.
How can you say it costs only 650 rupees?
Yes, sir. Approximately, I have mentioned that approximately 650 rupees. If it is manufactured by me, it will be 650. If it is manufactured with the help of each and every student here, by launching a company, I will be making it out with less than that, sir. I believe you to support me with that.
Can argue like that?
Sir, no, sir. Actually, making a single product it will be much costlier. When it is manufactured as a lot, it will be much more higher.
Then you will be following the cost plus pricing strategy.
Sir, it will be much more less. Yes, sir.
Cost plus pricing or some other strategy?
Sir, cost plus the pricing strategy, if you are moving on to that means, it depends upon the condition of the, I told you no, sir. Depends upon the condition of the economic status of our country. So, if the product is moving out much more a lot, we can reduce the cost too.
Have you applied for patent?
Yes, sir, through our college we are applying. Since I have to first get the permission from Board of Control of Explosives, after that only I can. Because
is there any specification for the water that is used in your?
Yes, sir, distilled water. Only distilled water must have to be used. If you are using other waters, like say chlorine is present in that water, means instead of oxygen, chlorine will be liberated. When this chlorine is taken out to the engine area, in that high temperature, it will form a rebonding and the engine become brittle, sir. So we face that problem also. Our bullet engine went off.
Have you taken that cost also into account?
Yes, sir.
For getting this distilled water?
Yes, sir. Distilled water, including that distilled water, the electrolyte, the running cost only I have mentioned over there. The chart I showed you, sir. Including the at a cost of 1 liter of petrol. I am not using full liter, the 1 liter of petrol. At a cost of 1 liter of petrol, I am achieving that mileage. I am not mentioning that I am using 1 liter.
Thank you. Only check with this two-wheelers or four-wheelers also?
Sir, actually, I was much more into moving out this project to two-wheelers, sir. Why is it nearly 5.5 million two-wheelers are running out throughout India? Converting all these two-wheelers into an electric bike or some other form of renewable resource of energy means it's practically not possible. So at first we must have to focus in two-wheelers, then we can go for the four-wheelers. We have did this project towards the auto gas and petrol, sir. Diesel we are working on.
That bulky, I mean, when you put this...
Sir, this is a prototype model. When it is manufactured with the help of an engineering model kit, then it will be suitable to, it can be fixed under the petrol tank itself. So you can never see this kit is present outside.
My suggestion would be if there is an organization called SIAM, Society of Indian
Yes,
Automobile
Society of Indian Automobiles.
So they have a research division which based on Delhi. So
they will
I think you also need to touch base with them.
Yes, Automotive Research Authority of India. We are applying through the...
No, SIAM is a separate research body.
Okay, sir.
That's located in Delhi. Comprised of all those automakers.
Okay, sir.
I think you should get in touch with them to further develop the site.
Thank you for your evaluation. I heartily thank each and everyone for spending your precious time, and I heartily thank TKM College. I believe this Kanjura, that is magical unity, will unite us together. Thank you.